Hey guys, welcome everyone to the live stream. Although I don't know if anyone is gonna be here without, previously being informed that this stream is gonna take place, as well as it's 9:40 a.m. So anyhow, I've decided to check out the Youth World Championship, which takes place online, and we are here watching a game between Jakub from Czech Republic, who is a multiple times Youth World Champion, as well as he was a participant in the Adult World Championship, so he's a really good player already at his age. He's playing against a Chinese opponent now who looks quite dangerous. So maybe let's see how this game is developing. There was a swap to from Kuba. Yeah, they are playing this, I believe, yeah. A bit quick development I can see here from both players. Jakub should spend a little more time, although I can imagine him not being super motivated given the fact that he's already a multiple times UEFA champion. But right in this exact position, he looks like he's in trouble, to be fair. I'm not sure that rushing this much was useful, from his point of view. But actually, he can still win because there is going to be, yes, it's a great continuation because there is a VC after that. So it looks like Kuba can win because this cannot be used to overline, and this doesn't give any VC ups, which means that although his Chinese opponent was playing not bad at all, I have to say. It's definitely not the typical Asian style of Gomoku that I witness now. It's more like the European one. And regardless, it looks like Kuba Horak managed to outplay his opponent using a very small amount of his time, to be fair. But still, he managed to outplay his opponent. Although, for absolutely sure, there was a much better continuation. For White, there was a quick win in the beginning for sure. Okay, this starting move is maybe not the best, but it's also not bad at all. This quick answer, well, here, if you start this attack, White's gonna get a stone here. So if you then after play this tree, it's blocked from this side or this side, whether like wherever you play it. So you can just play something like this or this maybe, and then if you check it, you can see that now black cannot play the tree because it's blocked, and then it's a win. If black plays it on the other side again, it's blocked, and then it's a win. So maybe the rushing was not the very best of decisions, although fortunately for Kuba Horak, it turned out well in the end, as this move was played, never played directly unless it's necessary. The Chinese player could not calculate the end of this line because, yes, he can block here, but this gives a VC of threat for black, which you need to defend. And After defending it, for example, in this manner, black has a really good position, a really good one. From here, black can most definitely create some lines that will end the game. For example, starting with g8. Let's not rush that much ahead. Let's see how the game is actually developing. Now the Chinese player Luo Mingyan is taking his time. He's not rushing anywhere. He's not rushing. I mean, he's in a bad position at the moment. So why would he be rushing anywhere, right? Regardless. Maybe we can check some other games from the tournament. We have some more interesting games. This Ondra, I'm not sure who he is. He is from the Czech Republic. Piggy is Maciej Holub, who is already an established player. He is he has already been competing in several live tournaments in the past few years, as well as participating in World Championship. Although he could not get to the final, still he put up a decent performance. He has been once the vice champion of Czechia, I recall, maybe 3 years ago. And right now, he's in a positional battle with Ondra, as you can see on the screen. Well, black has moderate options here. White has tempo. Black is kind of surrounded. It's not devastating, but also not a comfortable position for black, because black needs to be very precise. Smallest of mistakes could result in black being absolutely surrounded, which would mean that white gets tempo, space, and white could win the game on the long run. Possibly the very best of moves would be I7 at this position, but of course, a lot of options. Let's see what else we have here. We have Jakub versus Zhang Peng. It looks like there was a scheme here. I believe I know even which one. Yeah, it must have been this, and this opening stones. It had to be. I don't know if I can chat there. No, I cannot. I cannot chat there, but hi. Um, so what I wanted to say is Jakub has just on this last weekend participated in the Czech Open, which is the Czech national championship, and he played fabulously there, defeating a bunch of strong players, eventually grabbing the bronze medal in the championship, which is surely his best performance so far. So he has definitely improved, and I believe he has some good chances for a medal in this UFL championship as well. The Czech youngsters are pretty strong. Let's see the actual position. So I assume that this was the opening from Voigtman, and there was a swap to be played. Voitic chose black. Game began, and it's a very local game by the Asian. It's more like this Ranju style. But apparently it is never gonna work here. Um, in Gomoku, you have to be as direct as necessary, not more, not any more than that, because If you are placing stones on the board you don't need, your opponent's gonna place some, and you know, they're not needed like that. So you're giving extra resources to your opponent. Well, this white composition is absolutely surrounded. This is a very thoughtful move from the Chinese player. It opens up the space a bit. It's looking not bad at all, to be fair. But this black stone looks dangerous for now. Jakub needs to be careful as well as resourceful here to make the most out of this position. Let's head back to this position where Luo Mingyan decided to play g7, which is apparently not the move I expected him to do, so he played here. And now it's up to Jakub to find the finishing move after this strat. Um, I can imagine multiple continuations here. Most probably though I would stick to this because it's simply the easiest of lines probably. Is it good like that? It may not be good like that. Maybe this has to be played and then you have to threaten indirectly. Yeah, like that. So you play this because this cannot be blocked from above. Above would be a white VCF threat, but it's caught. Wow, that's quite not good for black. So my quick thinking was not good here for sure, which means Jakub needs to find a different way to win this position. My idea was very much not working. Although it should be. I don't see any, like, yeah, okay. So maybe not this move then because of the cut. More like, yeah, you cannot play the 4, you have to play here indirectly first. Then this has to be defended. And then after, this is no longer working because of this line. So it's possible a little longer combination. Jakub still needs to be very careful there. But he has a lot of time to calculate his winning line. So as long as he uses this time to actually calculate the winning line, he has found the first two moves which were rather obvious. The Chinese kid offered draw. Could be a misclick, could be a misclick. Otherwise, if not a misclick, then it's just, well, not very sportsmanlike. Offering, trying to get a draw in a losing position like that, mid game. Here we can see that Ondra used a rather direct approach against Maciej Holub, who, as you can see, comfortably defending, getting his stones outside, blocking this space. Black is getting more and more stuck there in the edge area without any good attacks. This move on I7 is still the one I believe should be played, but now it's a bit worse. It's a bit worse now, and it looks like he wants to keep on playing directly, so there's a very good likeliness that Matej Holub is going to pack this game. So apparently Jakub did decide to play g8. The answer from the Chinese is h8, which is an understandable response. And now the position is still not super obvious. Perhaps something like this move could be imagined, or this one. It's a very interesting position because White still has resources to continue and keep up with an attack. Black has not enough to start an attack yet. So Black needs to build very carefully while defending the opponent, also gaining some resources which could be used later on for an attack. That is what Black needs to do in this situation. Alright, so Kuba is, after finding the necessary moves there, he is right now finding the winning line. He needs to not make a mistake here with the VCF because there is a cut, as we could see, which means he needs to use this diagonal line in his attack. A challenging position, but I believe a multiple times UFA champion is gonna be capable of solving it. So let's just see how it's gonna be. A little more aggressive approach from Ondra, who tries to still somehow be on the attack and not let Maciej start his own one. Now Maciej needs to realize that if he lets his opponent do this for quite some time, then a significant portion of the board is gonna be occupied. And if you want to, win, play a good game, uh, have a good attack, have some base of attack, you need space for that. And that is exactly why he decided to play this move instead of this one. It gives him more space that can be used in the future. It also blocks the attack efficiently, hence it's a good move from him. A possible answer could be a move below it, but so far Ondra has been playing quite directly, so maybe he is going to keep doing that and is going to play the 3 in one of the ways, but that would be a mistake. It would be a mistake. Maybe I have another board prepared here, so I'm just gonna try to put up the position of Jakub and his Chinese opponent Zhang Jipang. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna decide something like this. Was this up to? Although it was probably not likelier. So this is their current position. And I was talking about a move like this. Going direct would definitely not help him. But also, if you, for example, think of a move like this, one thing that it's not working because of this move, but secondly, um, White is capable of launching an attack. Even this block is possible because this is overline. It's not winning, it's overline. Overline means six or more storms in a row. For those that do not know. Therefore, it would be very early and bold decision to do something like that. Hence, I would prefer a move that controls the position as well as gives some resources that can be used later on in an attack. So that would be my choice. Oh yeah, a very different approach. Piggy is gaining very useful extra stones he can be later on using, but he has to start his attack sooner or later, like within 10 to 15 moves, because of the before mentioned reason he needs some space to build something nice and strong. He cannot be passively spectating for too long. Look at that, Jakub with a beautiful move. I told you guys, the multiple times UFR champion is more than capable of finding a line like that. And there we go. He could easily calculate that this is going to be a cut if he tries it. Hence, he had to look for a different solution. He found out that playing the 4 would be a mistake. He knows that perfectly well as could see on the board. And played this absolutely beautiful h5. And it's game over. It's game over. I cannot imagine him making any unreasonable mistakes in this position. It's a very well found move. Great attack, great skills from Jakub. In the meantime, Matej Holub indeed had enough of defending throughout the entire game and is making an offensive attempt against his opponent, who is falling short on time. 8 minutes left. Okay, his opponent decided to play the 4, which is barely ever a good decision. It is gonna give extra lines for Piggy and nothing to Ondra. So anyhow, we can see that there's been some development here. Luo Mingyan decided to play all of his 4s remaining, which gave an even easier win for Jakub Horak, who packs the game, collects his second point in the UFA Championship, and is on his way of becoming the champion again. Well done by Jakub Horak. But also, I would like to stress the fact that the Chinese player was also not doing bad at all in terms of him not playing this local direct game that is something we could see from most Asian Ranju players playing Gomoku. But he was more than creative here. I liked his style. he has some good chances in some future games for sure. All right, let's see the decision made by Jakub Wojtek. He sides with h5 in the end, which is maybe a bit too passive because g7 could follow, and that would close this line because it's gonna be overline, as well as create various offensive chances for white, which is probably not something you'd like being black. Yeah, I think h9 should have been played here really to get some chances there, but this move on h5, I'm pretty sure g7 is a win move for white in this position. Let's see if Zhang Zipeng is gonna be able to find it. And as long as he's thinking, there's a quick development here in the game between Maciej Holub and Ondra. Playing those extra stones never result quite well, as you could see. And I have warned you, the game is already over. And it's exactly over because of those extra stones gained from this unnecessary 4. White has 3 by 3, hence the position is undefendable for black, meaning it's game over. So Mate Hall also collects his second point. Well done. Let's see if any other games are being played. A couple of them. A couple. But these are lower ranked players, it seems. So I'm not gonna check on those ones. For now, at least. At least now, sticking to this interesting one in between Zhang Zipeng and Jakub Wojtek. Another battle between a Chinese and a Czech. The previous one we could witness was won by Jakub Horak against Luo Mingyan, and now the Chinese player can equalize that private match between the Chinese and the Czech, given the fact that he has a very advantageous position, most likely a win position. Talking about this move, g7, black cannot start any attack at all. This h5 is out of position for sure. There's nothing good here. Wherever you wanna block these lines, there's multiple others popping up. Of course, it's not absolutely over. It's just odds-wise, it should already be a win for white, and even if not a win, a super advantageous position at the very least, in my judgment, at least. Maybe a couple words about the format. They're playing 9 rounds as far as I know, 3 on each day. Because of the very different time zones, the games start very early for us Central Europeans. First round starts at 8, then second round 9:30, and the third round is 11 a.m. So I guess, yeah, this is obviously the second round. I guess I can stream the third one as well. And then the competition resumes tomorrow only. Zhang Zipeng is thinking hard on this position right now. He has, for sure, a couple of options. G7 looking absolutely the best by far, but we can think of some different scenarios where he would side with G6 instead, which is also not bad, and then continue like this. Now this is slightly better for Jakub maybe, but also quite good for White still, because there's just so much going on for White. Black has nothing, not one line, which is kind of devastating. Oh wow! I believe the Chinese player is making a mistake, probably because of his Ranju instincts. He indeed did overline Black now, but at the same time gave Black a VC of possibility, a Fukumi possibility for the continuation of the game. So this means that Black will not only survive but probably take the initiative, because right now if this move gets played, this one's the answer. And it has to be blocked, because now, if you now start attacking, this is what's gonna happen, you lose in two moves. Therefore, once again, I have to stress the fact that it is never a good idea to play unnecessary moves. You always have to carefully, think it carefully over, whether you need a move or not. Because this is what's gonna happen when you play a move you didn't need. You give extra resources to your opponent. So all of a sudden, things are starting to look better for Jakub Wojtek after that out of position h5. Thanks to this combination, now he's back in the game, back on track. I think I would risk saying that he even has some advantage. Because of that threat, I feel like he has to have some advantage. Yeah, now it's looking problematic. Because right now, Black, all of a sudden, from having nothing as something, that was a misplay. So, if you remember anything, if you want to remember anything from this live stream, let it be that do not play fours or threes that you do not need to play, because you're just gonna give extra resources to your opponent. Had he played directly g7 without the 4 and the 3, he would have a winning position, or at least at the very minimum, a very, very advantageous one. Now in this scenario, Black needs to play on f8 to block this diagonal line as well as gain an offensive one, and then after, Black can start its own attack. Even if not immediately, maybe, and not directly, but Black can start an attack, and yeah, Black will start an attack. Actually, now that I'm looking at the board for a little longer, isn't this a win? If for example this or this move gets played, let's see, or is it caught? It could be, yep. Yeah, it's not that easy. It is not that easy. Okay, so in that case, some little trickery needed to be done because I was having this line in mind that it would be a 3 by 3 winning, but white can block here. Just like if this gets played first, white can block here as well as here because then you block with the 4. So it's not gonna be that easy, but still you will have some opportunities. Regardless, f8 is a must to make for Jakub Wojtek. He needs to find f8 and play it. Well, maybe I can imagine him trying to play f6, but but not sure about that. f6 could be used to trap white into playing down there on the attack and then playing f8 to have a sure win position. Although it's also a bit risky because f8 is just better in this position. And he plays f8. Good job. Good job from Jakub Wojtek. Zhao Jipeng has 6 minutes left, a little less now. Jakub Wojtek a little above 7 minutes, so they are somewhat equal on time. Zhang Jipeng notices the threat, makes the defensive movement immediately. And now Jakub can think of his next move, whether he wants to attack, be a bit more passive, all up to him really. Were I him, I would probably consider some strategy using c9 because it cannot be blocked from below for then it would be a possibility to play this move simply and win. Therefore it has to be blocked in the middle. You gain this extra line here for yourself and you can maybe progress towards this area. And then it starts to look not that bad. It's not that bad anymore. But of course, this was just a quick idea. There could be better ones, and it's his job right now to find the line he likes to play here. But I think c9 would definitely not hurt his position as well as help it. In fact, let's see if any other games are still ongoing. There's one ongoing. Let's have a look at that. If they are still playing, they deserve some attention as well. Let's see an interesting position. I am not really familiar with these players. Let me try and see. So it's Michal Tolar from Czech Republic, and Christian could be Christian Lena. Oh yeah, he's Christian Lena. I am somewhat familiar with him and his brother Rauno. They are not bad. Rauno especially. I have seen him play. Christian, I have not seen that much play. Anyhow, it looks to me like there's some trickery going on here. It looks like some creative moves were played because this is no longer working like that. Once this move gets played, white blocks in the middle for sure, and then after, black's block is coming from here, and then there is a threat here, so it has to be taken care of. And then black can try to defend this area, but it's not gonna be easy. White has an overwhelming accumulation of stones here, so it's still not gonna be easy. Unless this little trick works, it's gonna be a tough survival for Christian Lane there. So let's see where we are. Instead of c9, he decided to play e7. Blocks coming from above, and now it's interesting. I'm not exactly sure this was the very best idea for Jakub Wojtek. Because right now, this is very dangerous for white, and I just cannot see how to continue here. Maybe this move can be used, but I do not see. Yeah, this move has to be used. I mean, it looks necessary to me. So, this being played, I feel like this has to come, because this threat needs to be blocked. Probably this is the best way of blocking it. And then, yeah, that's not necessary. So blocks here, blocks there. Win. Could be the one. Yeah, no VC off, no nothing. I think this could work. I'm positive about it. But he decides to play this move instead, which gonna result in this quick block for sure. And then I'm not sure what he wants to do. He maybe wants to keep blocking, but if he does, then there is a good chance he may lose this game. Because it's not gonna be very blockable at this point for black there. Alright, so the trickery did not work out as well. Mihal Tolar was um, aware of the situation, made the necessary defensive move, and now he can devise his own offensive plan. He should play on h6. That would be a win for him. But he wants to play a more direct approach there, which is, as I keep mentioning, not the very best of decisions. Anyhow, let's see. Okay, not a wasted idea, but it can be blocked from below. And it has to be blocked from below, apparently. Going back here, of course, Zhang Zhipeng made a defensive move there, Black is without a continuation here. It's going to be very tough right now for Jakub Wojtek. Interestingly, the odds were changing in this game quite often, from white win to black advantage, from black advantage to black win, and then to white one. Interestingly. So now what I'm expecting is after this move a simple I-10 because it creates this strat on F10 and you cannot efficiently block it because of the received overline here. Therefore, it's a wasted attempt, and all he needs to do is keep being on the attack. As long as he manages to keep being on the attack, nothing should threaten him. Oh yeah, he quickly played here. Quick answer also. Bad position overall. Also, block was made from the middle, but then it's an overline attempt. It's weirdly not blocked from this side. Still not over though. Or is it? Oh yeah, it is. Once you play this 4, it's a VC off. It's this 4, this one, and this one. It's a nice VC off from Michal Tolar against Christian Lean. Oh no! He misses it. It was such a well-built attack, but he missed to see that he can play this 4 first and not be worried of the cut then. In this exact scenario, it does look like to me that Christian Lina is getting lucky, and as a matter of fact, he's gonna win the game. But he is not blocking the 4. What's going on there? Black had a win once he makes this one move, and then it's a two moves win on the left side. Crazy outcome in this game. Unbelievable. Anyhow, going back to Zhang Jipeng and Jakub Wojtik, who has less than a half minute, still on the defense, he now needs to play this move exactly. No other option for him. Black is still in a lot of trouble, regardless of whichever move is being played. I don't know what's gonna happen here, but it does not look good for Jakub Wojtek. Really multiple ways for White to proceed. At the same time, White has to be careful because if it's not the right way, again, White is playing unnecessary moves maybe, but maybe it's not that bad in this situation. He could have attacked, but he wants to solidify his position. He is scared a bit from these threats here. Voigtman has to try this move. No other possibility for him. He's on 10 seconds. He has to try it. Yeah, that's not gonna work. If he keeps on blocking, he's losing because his only chance here is if he can scare his opponent. It looks like Zhang Jipeng is gonna pack this game with multiple wins for him at this stage of the game. He just needs to pick one. Oh, it's game over, unfortunately for Jakub. This move is what? I so don't like this website. So Zhang Jipeng wins against Jakub Foitig in an interesting game, in a tough battle between the two. Congratulations are due. Unfortunately, this game did not work out well in the end for Jakub Foitig. Anyhow, I believe I'm gonna be back with round 3 in, as you can see, 27 minutes or so. For now, I don't know if anyone was watching at all, to be honest. I know it's very early. Most of y'all that follow me are working, etc., or playing in this tournament apparently, or being the coaches in this tournament. So, anyhow, be back soon. See you in half an hour.